And the next question, the member for Cambridge.
Thank you, Speaker. Good morning. My question is for the Premier. My constituents are shocked when I tell them there are no laws in Ontario setting consequences for individuals committing voter fraud in an internal political party's election. Calling the police will not help you. In November of 2019, I tabled Private Members Bill 150, the Ensuring Transparency and Integrity in Political Party Elections Act, to remedy this problem. If it were to become law, the bill would, for the first time in Ontario history, set consequences for voter fraud in an internal party election. Despite the Premier telling the media in 2019 that he was against the bill, it unanimously passed second reading. But since then, it's been stuck with the Standing Committee on General Government, where it hasn't even come up for discussion. Does the government plan on bringing Bill 150 to the House for third and final reading so it can become law and finally make it an offence in Ontario to manipulate internal party elections?
Government House Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. As you know, it's not the government's responsibility to order how committees do their business. We'll let the committees identify which business they want to bring forward on their own.
Thank you. And the supplementary.
Speaker, I'm not the only one who thinks there's a problem with internal party votes. A few days after I introduced Bill 150, the campaign manager of the governing Ontario PC party, recently announced as lobbyist Corey Tanaik, had this to say on the CBC about votes held at party conventions to review a leader, and I quote, "It's always rigged. The people administering it are in a huge conflict of interest. They set when the delegate selection meetings are, they set all the rules around it, they can put their fingers on the scale in a very undemocratic way, and if the past is to be a predictor of the future, we'll see that again, because that's what we always see," end quote. Mr. Tanaik also has first-hand experience. You see, he was the co-chair of the 2018 Ontario PC Party Convention that was supposed to elect that party's executive, but which resulted in more ballots cast than voters who voted and is now before the courts. Does this government, whose own Ontario PC party has seen election irregularities, decide internal elections under two different leaders, support Bill 150's attempt to set consequences for such behaviour or not?
To respond, Government House Leader.
Again, Mr. Speaker, look, it's the government doesn't order the committees, independent committees of the Legislative Assembly, order its business, Mr. Speaker. We have a number of private members' bills that have made the floor of the Legislative Assembly from both sides of the House. In fact, today we will be debating a private member's business from the member for Willowdale, another piece of business from the member for Muskoka, and a good bill from the member from Scarborough Southwest, Mr. Speaker. What unique circumstances all of these individuals have from both sides of the House when they brought bills forward and had them pass is that they've worked with their colleagues to get them to the floor of the House. Look, as Government House Leader, all I can say is for the member to do the same, work with members on both sides of the House, and hopefully the members will agree to bring the bill forward at committee, and hopefully the members will agree to bring it to the floor of the House, and hopefully members will agree to pass it.